Art of Rally. We are going to now do another rally, and I think the last time I unlocked a new car, which I'm not sure that is better, but I'm going to try it because it's a V8 engine and we are driving on tarmac. Okay, so this is the first time driving this car. Actually, it's the first time of driving any other car than the Etsy or whatever the first one was, and this seems better, but it's tarmac, so this doesn't actually count. And they have lined the whole road with death traps. Oh yeah, this is exactly the bullshit that I'm talking about. Like, touch it just a little bit and you are pretty much stuck there. But we are going to now use this car, and this is actually, I think, the first time driving in Germany. The Finland, Norway and Kenya races were with the first races, and this is the first time in Germany. That was close. That was close. That was extremely close, considering that I actually hit it a little bit, and it's still slippery, but fortunately this is tarmac. And I have been to Germany. This isn't how their roads are there. But as I said before, this isn't. Yep. This isn't a rally simulator, or I don't know what it actually is. Oh, I remember. It's Art of Rally. That's it. That's the best way to describe it. And I still have no idea how well I'm doing. Actually, let's rephrase that. How badly I'm doing, because I have no idea compared to others. And here in the corners, it seems that I'm going extremely, come on, slowly. But if I use a little bit more acceleration, then the car just goes off the road. It's like the wheels don't have enough grip, and the steering wheel doesn't work that well. Like, you can hold down the arrow keys how much you want, it just doesn't turn. And then again we have the option of just me sucking, because this is a little bit difficult game to master. And this is the third day of playing it. I did another recording earlier today, and yesterday I played it a little bit. Because it's totally different from the other rallies. I mean, the Norwegian rally that I played and the Finnish one, then I have no comparison or like way to say if this is a good car or not. But it doesn't seem to really matter, because still the backend just goes wherever it wants, which is especially cool considering that this is a rear wheel drive. Or was it? I think it was front wheel. Has to be front wheel. And yep, off the road just a little bit because I went too fast. The indicator on the left shows how much I brake. I braked the bar indicates how much distance you have left, and I think it's distance, because at some points if I'm going really slowly and then move, come on, don't do this, then move forward a little bit, then it like jumps. So I have my reservation about distance. I think it might be time or something, I don't know. Okay, 5 minutes, and this is nice. Let's do second stage, and we still have tarmac. I did mess up. I think I didn't go off the road, and I didn't have to reset the car, but I have to look at the replays, because I'm not sure that I remember correctly, but I don't think that I was driving that much better in the last stage that I did in the previous video. Maybe I did, I don't know, nobody knows. So let's go and drive. So doing the commentary takes a little bit of attention, so paying or like seeing what's going on in the game and what's coming up and all of these things are a teensy bit harder, because as I have mentioned, men have the also incapability of doing multiple things at once, which on the plus side makes them do one thing well or better, I don't know. And yeah, let's just drive off. I probably could have saved it a little bit, but usually if this kind of things happens, that I go off the road at a high speed and there are trees, it's just easier to... Are there tanks here? What the hell? It's easier just to like go off the road as far as you can, so that you are automatically reset. And this is also true if you are just a little bit off the road, because if you are going to go and drive into a tree and then try to come out of it and you back up a little bit, then 99% of the times you are reset anyway. So not only you're wasting time off the road, you are also getting a 5-second penalty. And the tanks, I think I now have the explanation. It's 1970 something. There were 2 Germanys, and because I didn't get a good look, they didn't seem like the tanks that they could have had at that time. I didn't get a good look, but they seemed a little bit more recent ones. Not that I know what exactly tanks in 1973 or 4 or 6 in the 70s looked like. There probably were advances, but they seemed something like out of 2000 or the beginning of 2000. Yep. Now, one of the things that I like about these driving games is, although you have to pay attention what you're doing, it's you can also let your mind wander, like completely blank. You are focusing on a task that doesn't require that much brain power. It's just driving a car, but at the same time, your other parts of the brain can think about stupid things. It's a little bit like zoning out when driving a longer distance. You're still doing everything correctly, but at the same time you have like thought about random things, and you suddenly pretty much like wake up and, oh yeah, I have just driven 150 kilometers and I have no idea how I got there. This is especially true if I'm visiting my sister and other relatives, where I have to drive a bit over 200 kilometers, and then usually the way back we have this stretch of highway that has 4 lanes, and you can pretty much just drive. There aren't any old people driving at 70 kilometers per hour in a 90 zone, and you don't have to be frustrated all the time. So it's just like auto mode. Okay, let's see how well we did. And the end always goes extremely quickly, and I'm quite sure that I didn't like do that much worse in the previous games. I have the automatic or the default settings that the AI and damage to the car and all of these things should be exactly like they have, I'm guessing, suggested, because these are the default values. I haven't taken anything away or added, so I'm guessing this is the way that the game is meant to be played. And because there isn't much damage, might be because I'm not crashing that much, because I still have to clean the car. Okay. This is extremely tedious that we have these kind of curves, and you can see that if I'm going a little bit faster than 30 kilometers per hour, it's pretty much I'm ending up in a wall. And I am actually pushing it. It seems that I'm driving extremely slowly, but this is pushing it. And I don't want to touch the handbrake, which is I think realistic, because during rallies, if you have the possibility, you're not going to touch your handbrake, because it's probably going to first of all lock your wheels a little bit, and generally is a bad move. I mean, for the health of your car, you can probably get or stop a little bit faster, but other than that, can I get the shortcut? Nope. That was definitely not worth it. That was extremely lucky. At least the first part. Usually if you are going to go into the corner a bit too fast, you end up much worse than I just did. So I was quite lucky that I got away with quite a few seconds wasted. I wonder if the later years the cars will become faster and a little bit more responsive. This is now actually the place where I should have been full tilt maximum speed, but the game has taught me to be careful, and I was careful, and it seems that I was careful enough. And the game has bugs, because at some points you can't select cars. You might have seen that the actual selection of the stage was gone. So yeah, but I'm not the person to complain, because this was a gift from Epic, so let's just play it. the names of the cars are they are, maybe the whole game is this one big polygon, polygon, I think it's polygon, one big geometrical shape, because in that way they can get away of being reminded too much of the cars that they are imitating, because there is thus 119E or something like that, or it was I, yeah. So it's very clearly a Porsche 911. But if you don't have enough facets to your, to your cars, then you can say that though it just happens to resemble, but it's actually something completely different. And there is also a BMW with a very distinctive shark nose, and I think it was at that time they had Lancias, which is like this obscure car that at least I don't remember, and at some point there should be Audis. Actually, the one that I'm driving is something that reminds me of Audis, because they had these 4 big lanterns in front of them, or I'm actually might confuse them with another car, because at some point they were pretty much dominating the whole rally scene when they came up with the 4-wheel drive. Oh yeah, fun fact, the logo of Audi is actually the 4 wheels drive, like 4 wheels, there are 4 rings. And before that they had a different kind of logo, but because they pretty much dominated and won the World Championship in rallies several times, and this is the reason why like other car companies started imitating them. And one of the good things about rally is that they actually they develop the cars more than F1 does, because from Formula 1 there this is not a fact, it's still an opinion, but I don't think that anything good for everyday people has come from Formula 1, because the things that they use there, they are so specific, you're never going to use it for your cars. But the really good example of this is that the rally does do improvements for everyday cars that you drive, so 4-wheel drive. I would also like to say ABS, but nope, not going to say that, because I'm not sure that it actually is something that came from the rally scene and not from some safety things that Volvo or other companies developed. But other things like the motor's efficiency or any other kind of things pretty much come from the rally scene. Is my game actually lagging? Like 64 gigs of RAM is not enough. RTX 4060 Ti is not enough to run this game. I'm also copying a lot of stuff, but come on, what the hell was that? It is lagging. I have to look at the replay because it's it is fucking lagging, and it's lagging in a way that it actually bothers me. Okay, so this is the final stage. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So don't know what that was, but it pretty much cost me. doesn't really matter. I won the rally, and I think I'm going to get a new car. Okay, that's nice. But also liveries. That's weird, because it looks like a Porsche, and some liveries. Yeah, so this car looks extremely familiar, but I can't pinpoint what it actually was. I have to Google it, and I'm probably going to remember. So yes, another rally in the game of rally of Art of Rally.